welcome. I want to tell you a story about heart. Heart in all its many forms, but it's the quilter's heart specifically, from which this story grows. The quilter's heart is a patchwork of kindness, patience, creativity, and love, sewn together with threads of hope and generosity, creating a masterpiece of beauty that warms the soul. And what a beautiful place from which to begin our tale. The world of quilting is magical. It has the ability to bring people together in unexpected ways and create community and goodwill by its creative synergy and heartfelt activities. But at the heart of it all, love and kindliness thrives, and when a peculiar group of ladies who embrace themselves and each other unconditionally, something special begins to grow. It all began a few short years ago in the small town of Stitchburg, a suburb of the City of SewEndipitous, where there existed a group of extraordinary women known as the peculiar ladies of the Misfit Quilters Guild. These ladies were not your ordinary quilters. They were a delightful bunch of eccentric sewists who pridefully embraced their uniqueness. Together, these ladies formed a tight-knit community of quilters who were always ready to share their love for sewing with anyone who would listen. They would gather at different hotspots in town as often as possible, setting up their sewing machines and quilting supplies, ready to espouse the art of quilting to any willing ear. Their quirky nature and funny habits brought joy and laughter to the town of Stitchburg. People would often stop by just to catch a glimpse of the peculiar ladies in their handmade attire, sewing away with laughter in the air and smiles on their faces. Their love for sewing was contagious, and the entire town soon became enamored with the ladies and the art of quilting. Their unique personalities and funny habits made them beloved figures in Stitchburg. Their quilts became treasured works of art till one fateful day in this modern world, a visitor to the town captured some of their antics on video and posted it online. In one of the rare positive outcomes of social media, the world saw for the first time the secret Stitchburg knew so well, the gift that was the peculiar ladies of the Misfit Quilters Guild. It wasn't just about the quilts they created. It was about the joy they brought to the town, their freedom to creatively express themselves and their uniqueness, and the friendships they forged along the way. And the world fell in love. The ways of the peculiar ladies of the Misfit Quilters Guild became a movement. They taught everyone by example that being different is something to be celebrated, and that the art of sewing can bring people together in the most unexpected ways. As the years went by, the membership of the peculiar ladies of the Misfit Quilters Guild have become a global phenomenon. Today, anyone can become a member and wear the mantle of member of for everyone to see. From the tiny town of Stitchburg and the humble beginnings of a small group of peculiar quilter ladies, the world began to change for the better. This community continued to spread their love for sewing, quilting, and kindliness, and by their examples they began the healing of humanity, one stitch at a time. So let's meet the peculiar ladies of the Misfit Quilters Guild, beginning with Matilda. The Queen of Quilting, Matilda, is the Guild's president and takes her role very seriously. She always wears wraps around her unruly bright red hair, adorned with colorful buttons or bows. Charismatic and eccentric, Matilda has a knack for creating the most outlandish quilt designs. Her creations reflect her vibrant personality, often featuring bold colors and unconventional patterns. Her love for sewing is infectious, inspiring her fellow guild members to embrace their eccentricities. Her quirky habit is that she insists on using a thimble on every finger, even when not quilting. Seeing her trying to eat a sandwich with all those thimbles is quite a sight. This is Penelope. Penelope is known as the resident expert on all things vintage. She has an extensive collection of antique sewing machines and is always looking for rare and unusual fabrics. Her quilts often feature intricate patterns inspired by historical designs, and she loves to share stories about the origins of different quilting techniques. She and Elsie, who you will meet in a moment, often whisper together in the back of guild meetings about the exciting things they have discovered since they last spoke. A funny fact about Penelope is that, as the vintage expert, she is quick to express her disdain about anything new. However, she secretly hides a fully computerized sewing and embroidery machine in her hidden attic sewing space that she tells no one about. She named it Kit after the famous robotic car from the TV show Knight Rider. Now meet Mildred. The sewing machine whisperer, Mildred is a true master of sewing machines. She may dress a bit fashion-forward and consider herself the diva among the guild, but she can fix any sewing machine issue with just a few taps and tweaks. Her magical touch in correcting even the most stubborn machine is legendary. Her funny habit is that she talks to sewing machines as if they are real people, giving them pep talks and encouragement. All her personal machines are named after famous inventors, and she refers to them as if they were her best friends. She believes that a happy sewing machine produces the best quilts. Now here is Huldy, the patchwork princess. Huldy is known for her extravagant patchwork dresses that she designs and sews herself. She loves mixing and matching different patterns in fabrics, creating unique outfits. She is equally famous for the fabric hats she fills with fresh-cut flowers from her garden each morning. How she keeps them from wilting in the sun is a secret she refuses to tell. Her funny habit is that she always carries extra fabrics and sewing supplies in her purse and basket, just in case she needs to make a quick repair on the go. You never know when a button might pop off. Now meet Gertrude. The quilting comedian, known as Gertie to her quilty friends, is the guild's resident comedian. She loves to crack jokes and make everyone laugh during their quilting sessions. Her dry wit and somber facial expressions are at odds with her sense of humor, which makes her levity all the more unexpected to new members. She describes her style as thrift shop chic, and her use of cheap fabric has earned her the nickname The Itch because she is constantly scratching the irritations it causes while extolling her thriftiness. Her quirky nature is that she always wears mismatched scarves, claiming that it adds an element of surprise to her day. Here is Florence. Deemed the queen of embellishments, Florence is known for her sweet nature, soft voice, and love of pastels. She has a penchant for adding extravagant decorations to her quilts, from sequins and beads to feathers and ribbons. Flo believes a quilt should be a work of art and spares no expense in making her creations stand out. Her funny habit is to carry a knapsack filled with sparkling glitter for those moments when she experiences great inspiration. At which time, she channels her inner Rip Taylor, tossing a handful in the air to mark the event. She believes every great idea should be celebrated. To the members' chagrin, they often go home with extra sparkles in their hair and on their quilts when Flo has a particularly constructive night. Now for Elsie. The resident quilt historian, Elsie, has an encyclopedic knowledge of quilting techniques and traditions worldwide. Elsie's love for quilting is so deep that she has even written a book on the subject titled Crazy Quilts Through the Ages from the Quilter Who Best Understands Them. She carries a camera, pencil, and notepad under her hat to record newly uncovered facts about the history of quilting. When she isn't perusing the local library, she uploads historical quilt photos to her popular Pinterest board and quilting blog. Her quirky habit is secretly sewing tags inside of every quilt in order to preserve the details she learns about it. She believes every quilt has a story and that it deserves to be told. If you find a hidden tag in the lower right-hand corner of a quilt, you know Elsie has been there. Lastly, let's meet Agnes. Deservingly known as the quilt detective, Agnes has a keen eye for detail and loves to solve mysteries. On the fun side, she often incorporates hidden messages and clues in her quilts, challenging others to decipher them. However, she is also the first to point out others' quilting errors. Still, she always offers a friendly suggestion or quick solution to hide the mistake. She has made the guild members better quilters, as no one wants keen-eye Agnes to find their sewing blunders. She most often quilts at home while watching Murder, She Wrote, and fancies herself the Jessica Fletcher of quilting mysteries. Her quirky nature is that she always carries a hidden magnifying glass around her neck, ready to pull it out and investigate any suspicious fabric, thread, or sewing technique. The Misfit Quilters Guild is a vibrant and inclusive community where kindliness, acceptance, and unapologetic self-expression are the guiding principles. Our quilting and sewing community is a haven for those who embrace their unique quirks and celebrate their individuality. Through our shared love for fabric and thread, we create beautiful works of art that reflect our true selves. Join us as we stitch together a tapestry of acceptance, support, and creativity, and share our passion with the rest of the world. Together, we can inspire others to embrace their own misfit spirits and find joy in the art of quilting. So lastly, whatever you do, be you. Be the absolute best, creatively perfect, imperfect version of you that you can possibly be. Welcome to the peculiar ladies and yes, gentlemen of the Misfit Quilters Guild.